Hi team, Mr. Weinstein here. I am out on a training today unexpectedly, but I would still like to start The Giver with you. So I'm going to talk you through what today's lesson should look like, and you should be able to complete it without a problem, and the substitute should be able to help you with any difficulties. So right now on Google Classroom, your classroom should look something like this. This post should look like this. The first thing you'd like to do is open the first document called The Giver Chapter 1 PDF. It looks like this. And just to give you some background, because we're starting the novel today, you'll learn a little bit about the main characters and the setting of the novel. It's really important. So here's some basic information about the book. The Giver was published in 1993, and the author is Lois Lowry, who also wrote the historical fiction novel Number the Stars, which is, or at least it takes place in the Holocaust. It's a very good book, and if you need a good cry, it's very emotional toward the end. The story is told from what's called the third-person limited point of view. This is a little complicated, but stay with me. This means that the narrator is not directly involved in the story. So the narrator is not a character. It's just a person who's telling it. The narrator uses the words he, she, and they to refer to the characters. Remember, that means it's third person. The limited part means we only see and learn things as the main character sees and learns them. This is different from Flowers for Algernon, which was told from the first person point of view. So this is told in the third person, but it's limited because we don't know anything that the main character doesn't know. We learn things as he learns them. And just basic stuff you need to know before we start reading. First, the novel begins with the main character, Jonas, having a flashback to a time when he was frightened. Remember that the first few pages of this novel describe a memory of Jonas's. It's not happening in the present, it's happening in the past, just the first few pages. At the same time that we learn about this memory, we also learn about the community in which Jonas lives. Second, this is extremely important. Not everything in this novel is explained right away. Some terms that the people use and some of the people who are mentioned, they are not explained until later. Please do not get hung up on not understanding everything in the novel right away. Most strange parts will eventually be explained. You need to be patient with the plot. If you feel like you're completely lost, definitely come to extra help or ask questions as we are reading. And finally, since it's a science fiction novel, The Giver takes place in a time and a location unlike what we are used to, but there are still some similarities between Jonas's community and our own. So we will recognize some things, but other stuff will seem quite foreign and strange. So at this point, what we can do is on Google Classroom, there's a YouTube link called The Giver Chapter 1 Read Aloud. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a person reading Chapter 1 of The Giver out loud. You could follow along on this PDF, scrolling down to where it says 1, and reading along as you listen to it on YouTube. Once you are finished reading the first chapter or listening to the reader of the first chapter, you want to complete this last page of the notes today. What do we learn about this community? I'm going to ask you to list any strange or unusual observations you notice about this community throughout Chapter 1 of the novel. List as many as you can. I would say try to list at least 5 and cite the page number, meaning list the page number on which you found each strange observation. This will count as a homework. I might ask you to take a screenshot of this last page and submit it. So again, this should be fairly simple. Everything is loaded and up for you on Google Classroom, and you can ask the substitute any questions you may have.